Good evening, YouTubers. Welcome to World Cinema Reviews. And we have an awesome treat for you tonight. It's a wonderful, wonderful masterpiece of a film. I'm actually been wanting to talk about this film for a while, just hadn't got around to do a video on it, but it's one of my favorite films. It's certainly a creepy, dark, nightmarish, awesome film, and it's really worth talking about it. Many people have, but I want to give you my humble opinion about it. We're going to talk about that awesome foreign film, Pan's Labyrinth, or in Spanish known as El Laberinto del Fauno. So, we have this wonderful film directed by the awesome, awesome Guillermo del Toro. And if you've been under a rock, you don't know him, but if you're a fan like me, you know he's done awesome things. Blade 2, Hellboy 2, The Devil's Backbone. The dude's just awesome. Everything he touches turns to gold, man. He's really awesome director. I admire his nightmarish visuals, his special effects. The things that he shows are really like unworldly creatures of despair. Like I can truly say that this dude is a visionary, like for real. So as far as as this film, this may be his masterpiece, and this awesome film is actually an award-winning film, winning the Academy Award for Best Art Direction, Best Cinematography, and Best Makeup, and being nominated for Best Original Score, Best Original Screenplay, and Best Foreign Language Film. So this is a Spanish Mexican collaboration, and we have the wonderful Alfonso Cuarón also working this film. And Alfonso Cuarón, you know him, he's producing this film, but he's also an awesome dude that has done awesome films. The last one, the biggest one, is the Academy Award-winning film Gravity. So, what happens when you put two very talented directors, producers in one film? You just get pure magic, and this is what this film is. Let's dive into why this film it's truly awesome. First, let's talk about the plot. Then we'll talk about the players. I want to reveal very little about this plot because I want you to watch this film. If you haven't, and if you're skimmish or you just don't like foreign films because of the subtitles, um, I mean, this is worth watching. The subtitles are especially Guillermo del Toro actually went over and supervised the translation, making sure it was a truly smart translation that would actually convey the ideas fully. Because he actually reportedly it was said that he was displeased about the Devil's Backbone's translation. I locally speak Spanish, and I was able to see both films in their original film format without any problem, and maybe I got a little bit more enjoyment out of it thanks to that. But I mean, if you must see it with subtitles, it's no problem at all. I mean, it's really great. The plot goes around the in 1944, post the Spanish Civil War, and then at this point, this Franco, the dictator, a Spanish dictator ruling, and we get how is it like in a time where war is rampant, where um, the dictator is looking for his enemies and sending his soldiers to hunt them down in a sort of a fascist, reminiscent of the Hitler persona. Franco was certainly borrowing a lot from that, and just a horrible type of government. And the horrors of war are seen through the eyes of a child, and our protagonist, um, it's just so, it's just this little beautiful girl that goes through a very tense situation, um, and basically she goes through the war but watching it through the eyes of a child, and she kind of imagines this fairy tale, and this fairy tale that's, some, in some philosophical way, reminiscence real life. It goes with uh, that she's going through with her mother, that just the, and pregnant mother, I should say, and the toughness of living with a stepfather who is a soldier for the Franco Spanish army, and a very cruel, despised individual. And she escapes it by imagining that she goes into this magical world, meeting a faun, um, which has not been said to be Pan, but in the English translation is Pan's Labyrinth. So this faun, takes her through a magical journey where she must prove herself to be a magical princess to unlock a secret, and go to a beautiful land. And that's where I'm gonna leave it. Um, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the story when I talk about the characters, but that's the premise of the story. It's basically a fairy tale. I don't want to spoil the fairy tale by telling it to you, but I want to talk about the players. Ivana Vaquero is Ophelia, and Ophelia, basically, she's going through a lot. First of all, she's got she's got her mom, who she lost her dad, and is no longer around. She has a stepfather who's an a-hole, and we'll talk more about him later. But the little girl that plays this, that plays Ophelia, Ivana Vaquero, is just superb. She captures the innocence of a child, and she actually sees things, um, in a very innocent way, and she sees, an insect to be a fairy that's taking her to this magical world, and then she sees into a, a, a little potato like root thing to be magical, and she imagines these things to be so real. In her mind, everything's playing. There's horrible things going on. Her stepfather is torturing people. Her mom's going through illness, and she may or may not survive childbirth. In those times, it was really tough, and she fears for the life of the little brother, and just horrible war times. But she's worrying about unlocking a magical, a place. So she does a superb job. Sergey Lopez plays Captain Vidal, which is he's a soldier of the Franco army that's basically hunting down and torturing people to death, basically, and finding out and hunting them down. And he plays a awesome role. This actor really hits it, really nails it, really well done. Um, a great other person that I want to mention is Doug Jones. Doug Jones does not speak Spanish, and he's the phone. He's sort of the pan. I'm gonna go. He's the pan in the pan slapper, sort of. Like you say, he's not really pan, but he's the fawn. So he plays that, and he also plays the character Nightmarish Killers called the Pale Man, which is basically a monster. And that's the other thing that I want to tell you. This special effects are superb. Like I said, if you believe in hell, I wouldn't doubt very much that things would look like whatever's in Guillermo del Toro's head. That's how scary this film is. That's why I consider this to be, even though it's the dark fantasy, I consider this to be horror because this is scary. Like I mean, some of these things, and it will be really scary for a little girl. So Doug Jones does a tremendous job playing both sides. Even though he doesn't speak Spanish, he actually offer Del Toro a way to actually know phonetically and just read his lines. But he was actually dubbed by a Spanish actor in the end. But because he actually was superb on it, he was actually to do the mouth movement pretty good. He actually was he did read his lines in Spanish apparently, so it made it much easier for it to sing and seem seamless. Um, the magic of this film, and I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna basically sum this film up in a way that everybody would understand. Um, the magic of Del Toro taking this film, it's not because it's particularly shocking, scary. It has the same feeling of The Devil's Backbone. It's just that he allows you to see a story through the eyes of the child. And when you see this, you imagine yourself to at that age, and you can relate to the protagonist, and you can understand what the protagonist is going through, and you can sort of have the traumatic experiences. You put that together, which is a great study. The ending of this film is superb. It's beautiful. You don't know whether to cry or overjoy, or just has a very weird feeling that I don't you don't know if whether you to be sad or satisfied of watching such an awesome movie. And it's just really cool. The cinematography, the sets, like I said, the makeup. Oh man, the special effects is superb. I recommend this film 1,000%. You gotta watch this film if you haven't already, and if you're a Guillermo del Toro fan like me, you've probably seen it. But if you haven't, or if you're not a Guillermo del Toro fan, give this a chance. You will enjoy it. I I have a pretty good feeling that you will enjoy it. And as far as any other side note to say, well, this is I hope to start on a series of new, trying to add more films directed by this by Guillermo del Toro, and hopefully more foreign directors. David Cronenberg. I still have a ton of films to review of him. I want to add more Dario Argento. So it's there's a lot of things in my head right now that I want to do. I want to also get some Asian cinema going here. Um, I need your comments, guys. If you like my videos, tell me. If you don't, that's cool. Tell me why. And but basically, what I need ideas. I need you. I want to know what you want to see. And I'm a cool guy. I'll try to do my best to give you what you want. And I appreciate all your support so far. Thank you so much for watching my video. You guys enjoy your evening, and take care and good night.